Hello, hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to go over today quickly a topic that I don't see a lot of information currently available to most drone pilots regarding. So, once you finish your studying and you go and you take your Part 107 test and you pass, and then you get that little card in the mail, you're done, right? That's it. You're just go grab your controller, go grab your drone, and just fly, right? Well, yes and no. Um, Within 24 months, you're going to need to take a reoccurring test. And if you look at older information on pages, on web pages, and on training videos that you can find on YouTube and other sites, they're going to have older information which tell you that you have to go back into a training center. And that changed. That's no longer true. In mid 2021, they changed it to where you can do it all online. And it's super easy. So literally you can do it anytime. It doesn't have to be the 24-month point. I just got my Part 107 license about 6-7 months ago. And in doing some research to do this video, I just went through and I took the test. So you can take it anytime between 0 and 24 months. And I'm trying to go back and find the reference because I read something while I was studying for my Part 107 that said once a Part 107 expires, so let's say it expires June 6th of 2024, June 7th, 2024, it's as if you never had the license from a licensing perspective. So you have to go back to a test center and take the test all over again. What I was reading most recently on the FAA website doesn't seem to indicate. So I'm going to do more follow-up. If you have a reference, feel free to comment. Please have a direct reference. Don't say, oh, I think, or so-and-so told me. Needs to be an authoritative source. Because the problem with internet in general, social media, is people repeat stuff. And if you repeat enough, it becomes fact when it's not a fact. And the other issue here is things change. So I'm recording this January of 2023, and probably in February of 23, some of what you're gonna see is changed. So always trust but verify. And so with that, I'd like to show you how to go in and renew. And while we're in there, I'm gonna also show you how you can do refreshing training so that you can keep your skills current. You can always be becoming more proficient, more knowledgeable. And through knowledge, the goal is to have more safe flights. So the more you know, the safer you are, the better you can plan. You can train like you plan and then fly like you trained and you planned. If all three of those are in harmony, things go wrong, but you did everything you can do. So you plan for the worst and hope for the best.
This is my internet browser, and you can see I've got a few different things here. And real quickly, I just want to do a shout out to UAV Forecast. This tool is awesome. Spend the extra couple dollars, you unlock a few fields where you can see the height of the clouds and the amount of cloud cover and some other things. So it's definitely worth it. You can use it on your computer as well as on the app on your phone, which you have to use anyway to fly. So why not use it? So this is FAA Safety.gov, G-O-V. And so this is where you can come to take your tests. And you'll see here I've got featured courses. You can always surf for courses. So I'm going to zoom in on this part. And so there's three types of tests that you can see here. So Part 61, if you see that, if you're not familiar, Part 61 is for manned aircraft. So the Cessnas and the small props and the other planes that you see flying with somebody inside of them. There's two different types of tests they can take. There's a Part 61 and then there's another one. But what the FAA allows the Part 61 pilots, they've already gone through ground safety, they've gone through flight safety, they're already pretty versed on the aspects of flight safety. So the only thing that they have to do is this little side test. So this doesn't apply to us when you see Part 61. And if it does apply to you, you've got your Part 61, so you kind of already know everything I'm about to say on this video. So they can take the test online initially. Unlike us, who have no prior certification from the FAA, we have to go into a test center and take a test. But if you have a Part 61, they can take this initial, and then at this 24-month point, they can do the recurrent. For everyone else, which is us, I'm assuming 99.99% of the people watching this video, you just have a Part 107. So with that Part 107, this is the course that you'll click on, Part 107, Small UAS Recurrent Test. And so it's going to come up with a description and tell you, okay, here's what it is. Does it cost anything? No. And then you can always look at a course or enroll in the course. And then once you enroll, from that point forward, it's going to always show up in different menus to make it easier for you to find. So in this case, I have a little pop-up here. You won't have this. It says, hey, you just took this in the last 90 days. So if you do it again, you're not going to get any credit. So you'll have the course name, which is ALC, Alpha Lima Charlie -677. Status, if you have just clicked enroll, you'll see enrolled here instead of recently completed. Presented by FAST Team, that's just who created the course. And so there's a legend here. So anything green is something you've completed. So in your case, you will not see green here. You will probably see blue. And I'm assuming because if you're watching this video, you haven't already been here and done this. So you should be on the intro, current intro. And I like to just hit the next button because then I don't have to keep track of which one I'm in. I just hit next, 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 next. So you'll look at the first page and you'll read through it. It's going to have a lot of things that should be extremely familiar. For me, there was some new stuff because when I got my Part 107, remote ID had not been mandated. So we had not rolled over that implementation date for manufacturers. And for individuals, that date still hasn't rolled in. That comes later this year. So I'm a little rusty on the remote ID rules as far as the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, pun intended. And so just hit next and you'll go through each page. You'll go from the intro to page 1 once it refreshes here in a moment. And you'll go to page 2, page 3, and then you'll hit the review. And then once you hit the review, you need to make sure that you are ready to take the test, because if you have to leave this page or do anything else, it's not going to allow you to just start where you stopped. You have to restart the whole test if you come back to it. So once you've done the review, then the exam button becomes active. And if either one of these two aren't working, go back and do the intro and then 1, 2, and 3, and then you should be able to unlock whatever comes up. I can't take the exam because I just took the exam. So the upside to doing this online is that your test has to be 100%, but it's what we call gradable to 100%. So you'll go through the questions, and you'll answer them, and then you'll hit submit. And in my case, I missed like 4 of the remote ID questions. So it said, you met a 91%, and that's about it. So I wasn't sure exactly, okay, so am I done? 91% is passing. No, what they want you to do is they want you to go back through, and it's going to tell you which ones you missed. And it'll have like a little red italic thing, and it'll say, this question is not correct. Well, there's 3 answers to each question. So you now have a 50-50 chance of changing it to the right thing. So go back, read the question. One of them's usually a distractor, so hopefully you didn't pick the distractor. So the next best question answer should be pretty obvious. So change it, go through, hit submit. Again, I was rusty. I was in a hurry because the wife and I were going someplace. And so I just went right back through real quick and then hit submit. Well, you got a few wrong. So I had to go back through. And anyway, long story short, 4 or 5 times through, finally, when I got to the very end, I had 100% hit submit, and it said, congratulations, you've passed. Here is your certificate. And so it's going to take you to a page, and on that page, you can view your certificate. You can email your certificate. So if you're wondering what their certificate looks like, I have a folder that I throw all of my drone stuff into. And so I saved it and then emailed it to myself. And so this is what it looks like. So it's your certificate, and then it's like a little card that you can print out and you can keep with your Part 107 license if you want to have something on you. I don't think there's a requirement to carry it. You just have to be able, if there's an incident and the FAA inquires, where they can do follow up and see, okay, you are still current with your certification. You did take it within 24 months of your initial Part 107 completion. So if you view a certificate, this is what you see. If you say email it to me, you get an email that just looks like this. It just says validated. So I don't like this as much. I'd rather kind of have a nice certificate. I'm old school, print it out, hang it on the wall. Maybe I'm not going to, but you can. And so, I just went ahead and saved this just since I had it. So no big deal. And then with whatever email you've got registered, you'll get this automatic notification. And it looks like you got a browser link here. Let's see what happens. Let's go to that and new tab and see. Okay, there it is. So you can still get the certificate. And there's your completion date. So I will have to take this again, unless the rules change, by January 16th, 2025. And so that is, in a nutshell, how you can renew your certification. So the other thing that I mentioned in the intro for the video is that through knowledge, of course, you can have safer flights. And so at this FAASafety.gov website, you have a bunch of different classes that you can take. You can go in and send up your preferences and your profiles, and so you can get emails when courses come up. You can print certificates, and you can view your history of what you've previously done. So what Wings is Wings is a program to promote pilot proficiency. And so you can go through and you can take courses and you can get credits towards the Wings program. And there's levels to it. There's basic, advanced, and master. And so hopefully no one who's watching this video ever has any incidents. But if there ever was an incident, one of the things the FAA is going to look at is, are you active in ongoing training to keep your skills proficient? And so if they see that you're in here and you're taking classes, they're going to see, all right, you're trying to be top of your game and you're not just complacent and hoping that, everything works out for the best. And so when you go into these wings, when you go into the wings program, you can see that there's tabs here. So basic, advanced, master. And so you want to progress through it. So I've started doing the basic wings. And so these are the courses that you can take to complete that. So you can see that I've done decision-making concepts for pilots, for UAS pilots. I took the recurrent, even though I didn't need to. I just did that the other day. Decision-making concepts. This one, I just need to take the test, the safety briefing. So if you've taken your Part 107, you have to learn how to read a safety or a weather briefing. And so this safety and the weather briefings go through more behind the scenes, sort of, okay, so what? So I've got this, what do I do with it? And then there's a magazine that comes out from the FAA Safety. So to me, that was an easy one to take credit for and watch it. So that's actually this FAA Safety briefing. So once I complete all of these, then I can progress from the basic wings level to advanced. And if we go up to this top, we can see the activities, courses, seminars, webinars. And the way that you find these knowledge activities is you go into activities and courses. And so down here are some tabs that you can click on. So you can see, what do you have in progress? So I'll have that safety briefing, night operations, and night training courses. So that changed after I got my Part 107. So I really haven't had much on night operations other than you had to have a waiver. Well, now you don't have to have a waiver anymore. You just take a class. And then as long as you have completion of that class, if the FAA ever has to follow up due to an incident with your flight, they can see that you were compliant with the rules. You can see what you've completed. So these will be all the things that I've finished. So the recurrent test, which I just did yesterday, and then the decision-making concepts. So to do new courses, you're just going to click on all available courses. Now, the downside of this is when it pops up, it's going to show you all categories. So what you can do is you can go in, choose a different category, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. And there should be, here it is, unmanned aircraft systems, 36 courses available. So if you click on that, this will take a moment to refresh, but now you're going to just have the courses that have been flagged specifically for small UAS pilots. And so you can see here who presents it. So Pilot Institute, Aeronautical Proficiency Training, the FAST team. So that's the FAA, their team, the credits that you can get, and of course the title and ID for the class. And so you can do a preview, or you can see what the course is, or you can just enroll. So just go through, pick through it, see if there's some topics that you want, law and regulations update. That's probably a good one. I'm going to sign up for that one because the laws are always changing as well as the regulations. And so once you click on that enroll, it's going to show you the content. And then from that point forward, whenever you look at what you're currently enrolled in, this course will show up and you can always jump back into it. Now, it looks like this is incredibly short. If you do enroll in something and you decide, nah, I'm not so interested in that, you don't want to declutter, just click on withdraw and then it won't be there anymore. So that in a nutshell is how you find the courses, and you can keep your skills fresh for drones, drone regulations, and flight safety topics in general. So I hope that was informational and I was on topic and it was helpful to you. So be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you like and what you don't like on these videos. But most importantly, please like, so that I kind of have an indication that you like what I'm creating. So with that, thanks for your time and have a great day.